Hello, this is Alex Quinn from Arrkann RV Edmonton, showing you the 2016 Rpod 176 floor plan that we have here, and just kind of talk about it, go over it, show you a little bit further in detail that you might not see in photos, and yeah, hopefully answer any questions you might have in mind, and we'll go from there. But super popular, they came out, in about 2009. They probably have one of the biggest fan following. They even have something called Forest or Rpod Nation, I believe it's called. Huge forum for Rpod owners, and they do really well. They're built well, easy to tow, very light, very aerodynamic, and even these smaller ones have a little bit less maintenance to do on the roof because it's more of a one piece. Now this one in particular got rock guard, which is kind of like that black material that covers the whole front end here. Kind of the same kind of material that you'd find in a truck bed, just a little bit more resilient. You won't get any rusting. Protects the front a bit more, as well as it covers the A-frame, so it's pretty nice to have, especially in Alberta. Got lots of rocks. Now you get manual jacks front and back. Just use a cordless drill for that. You'll have AC, furnace, of course. It's not an overly big kitchen slide. That's one of the nice things about this model, is if you are looking for something a little bit more off-grid friendly, you kind of want to get into a tight spit, but you want a little bit more room on the inside. It's awesome, especially with this frame here. You have the axles on the outside. I believe this is a 6.5 foot wide frame. And then, when you add your slide, it's almost like having just a regular trailer. So it's pretty nice. You're gonna get aluminum wheels, some nice beefy all-terrain tires. This looks super close to the ground, but only because my front jack there is kind of digging into our ground, so it's not actually that low, so forgive me. I couldn't lift it up. You get an outside shower, hot and cold. And here are your controls. So you have black tank flush on the left side, fresh water, your city connection, cable satellite. That has a black handle. That might be your waste, and this might be your gray. And then you have your hot water tank. Some additional storage on the outside. I believe that's a trailer cover, but nice passenger storage, especially on a compact trailer like this. You don't really see that. So it kind of acts as like a normal trailer. You have tinted windows. Graphics actually look pretty decent. I mean, you're gonna have some of this crackling on the decals. That's really normal. But overall, it's not bad at all. It's in pretty good shape. It'll be fully inspected. We do our own personal work to these trailers when we bring them in, to ensure that they're ready to rock for the new owner. You'll have some outside speakers there. Hood River edition. Let's see if we find the frog. There he is. He's just chilling, fishing. The door here is friction hinge, so it's supposed to combat, I believe, 20-kilometer-hour winds, but basically just enough so that the door can be open, but it won't slam on you. And then you don't have that plastic clip either that might break off. Now for the size of Rpod, they have these things called an Arb Dome. So something you can buy after the fact. It's kind of like an awning that kind of feeds through the track there. And then you have little stands that come out. And it's kind of like dome shape. So something to consider down the road. Nice grab handle, easy to get into. And here's the interior. So we have Dometic AC up top, slide control, main lights here, water heat, water pump, and then your indicators. We have 2 single bunk beds, both come with the light. Actually look pretty cozy. Spot for plug-in. Here's kind of your main entertainment zone, little TV. Again, you can have some speakers, convection microwave. You'll have a Dometic 2-way fridge. And here's the inside. So being that slide isn't too big, it's only going to come in about like maybe 1.5 feet. So even with that slide in, you can still get through the middle and access anything you need. So it's pretty nice. And then you get a decent size like counter here too. So, you know, you can put bowls, you can put pots, cutting board, you know, you have lots of cooking space here. A couple deep drawers, which is really nice. The back here does, you know, drop down to a bed. And, you know, of course, you're going to have a nice U-shaped dinette. Cool thing about this table is it's not mounted to the ground. So you can actually take this table, use it outside. So, you know, one less thing you might need to bring on your camping trip. You know, if you're worried about weight or maybe space. So that's just a really cool thing to keep in mind. Or plug-in power. Your furnaces here. Pull down blinds here. And then that one looks like they may have had kind of like a fabric blind. You know, might be able to probably get that pretty easily. Over here, it's your coat hanger. If you want to hang jackets, just because it is a compact trailer, you know, a spot for hanging jackets or sweaters if you need to, even towels. Now this is your wet bath, but it's actually not bad. You get a fan up top, some spot for storage, and then of course, you know, you're gonna have your wet bath, so everything is kind of in one piece. Height into it, I'd say it goes up half my calf there. Probably about 1 foot. It's kind of, I'd say about 90 degrees. I'm 5'9", so about 90 degrees to get into it. Then you have a bit of a, maybe a 2.5, 3 inch dip, but pretty nice. I mean, it's pretty user friendly. It's very light, very easy to tow. This one in particular is actually just in pretty decent shape. You know, pretty nice trailer. Oh, actually, didn't check. Oh, look at this. We got storage. I didn't know about that. It literally just came to my mind. Okay, that's pretty cool. So you have all additional bedding or anything else you need. But yeah, I appreciate you watching this video. I hope it was informative and hope that you like it. You know, if you have any questions, please let me know. And thanks again for watching.